Hey guys, what is up? It is Danlags, and welcome back to a brand new Let's Build series that I'm going to be starting today for you guys. And in this Let's Build, I'm going to be recreating the Survival Island Season 4 mansion, the brick mansion that is on my Season 4 island. A lot of people have been requesting that I rebuild it and do a Let's Build for it, since people want to see it built in like detail and explanation. So I'm totally down to do that. I like the mansion a lot, and it'll be interesting to see how quickly I can build it in creative mode, because it's originally built in survival. Usually it's kind of like the other way around, like you would build something in creative first and then build it in survival, but it's kind of weird doing it like the opposite for this time. But as you guys know, it's taken me like, you know, a couple months to build this thing in survival, so, and I'm just working on and off, so I'll probably be able to build it in like 2 hours in creative, honestly, which is going to be a little bit annoying, but we're still going to do it anyway. So I'm going to build it here on the super flat, and I'm actually doing it on Xbox One. I'm not building it on PC, despite the fact that the original build is on PC. I decided to do it on console, just because, you know, just going to super flat seed, make it nice and easy. I know I could do this on PC too, but I decided I'll just build it on console, because why not? I want to see how it looks on console. It'll probably look exactly the same, because we're using the default, but you know what? We're on console. There's no real reason why we're here. Let's just go ahead and get started. Enough dilly-dallying. I'm going to start with the front of the house. And of course, guys, you know this build, it's kind of like 2-leveled, so it's kind of like on the edge of a hill, more or less. So I'm going to be accounting for the terraform in this tutorial. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and count up 5 blocks to right here. Let's see, that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, good. So the reason that I'm building it 5 blocks off the ground is so I can have the garage on, I guess, like the main level of the super flat. So that's why we're doing it all the way up here. So let me just go ahead and break this real quick, just so I made sure that it was 5 blocks up. And what I'm going to do is start by placing the first block. So it's going to be a stone brick block right here. And what I'm going to do is take a line of stone bricks going all the way across 33 blocks. So we got our first one right here. So I'm going to go 2, 3, and we'll do it just increments of 3. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33. So we got our 33 blocks of stone brick right there, looking good. And then I'm going to turn it here and make it 7. So we got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Perfect. And this is going to be more or less the box that we're going to use for this build. So what I'm going to do next is actually make myself a lining of upside down stone brick stairs that's going to run across right on top of the stone brick stairs that we just placed. So we'll have that go all the way down and connect to the other side. I'm going to take this one out, the extra blocks that I need, so the 7 blocks total, basically. So it's just one big rectangle, and we're going to start it off like that. Next thing I'm going to do is just fill in this entire rectangle of stone bricks with a lining of stone bricks, so it's all filled in. And this is kind of like that front porch of the house. So there's going to be the pillars that are going to be going on top of this, and then the brick wall will pretty much be right on the back of this thing. So you guys, I'm sure most of you, if you're watching this video, you've seen the brick mansion on Survival Island Season 4. And if you haven't, if you're watching this video just looking for a a house tutorial or something, then welcome to those of you as well. It's a pretty nice design. I do like the way it turned out, especially building it in survival. So if I need to make some slight tweaks to it in creative, I can absolutely do that. So we'll go ahead. We have this filled in right here. That is looking good. So now that I have this big box of stone brick placed in, I'm going to start putting in the pillars. So what I want to do with this is just come to either side, left side or right side, doesn't matter. Come in 1 block from the side here, place a stair, another one right here. So you want this front stair 2 blocks away from the edge, and then just put like the stairs basically going all the way around that. So just 2 of them right there. And then what I'm going to do is take up a pillar of quartz, pillared quartz here, and I'm going to have this 13 blocks tall. So we have 3 right now, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. So there is our first pillar. And then basically how these are going to work is they're going to be, a certain distance away from each other. So the first one right here is actually going to be 5 blocks away from the next one. So we're going to go ahead and jump 5 blocks. We got 3, 4, 5. Place a pillar. I'm going to place a stair in front of that. The next one's only going to jump 4 blocks though, so it's going to be a little bit shorter. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Place the stair in front of that as well. And then this next one's going to jump 5 again. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Just like that. So now what I'm going to do is come to the other side and just make sure that everything's lined up properly. So I'm going to put the stair here and the stair here and then fill the pillar up again. I'll just kind of ballpark to see how tall it's going to be right now. I'll go one more block, but it might not be perfect. We can always fix it later. Again, we're jumping 5 blocks on this side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right there. And then this should be 4. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. It will line up with the other one, and then we're looking good. So in total, we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total pillars in the front of the build. So we are looking perfect on this front. And then what I'm going to do is just take each one of these pillars up to where they're 13 blocks tall. And, the closer they are together, the easier it is to tell, that the same height. So that's what I'll be doing. We'll take these up. And this is the front of the house. So it's kind of like a plantation, I don't know, plantation style mansion or something like that. This one actually was 1 block taller than I thought. And so it's going to be a lot of bricks and a lot of quartz. If you're building this thing in survival like I did, it's not as bad as you'd think it would be just looking at it, because bricks aren't super difficult to get your hands on. It really depends though, like on the seed you're on. For me, the seed that I was playing on for Survival Island, there was a lot of easily accessible bricks. Well, clay, I guess, is the source material for bricks, but it was pretty easy to get my hands on that, so it wasn't too bad collecting the bricks, but it is going to take you a while if you're building this thing in survival. Just keep that in mind. But we have our 6 pillars to start things off, so it's looking pretty good so far. So now the next thing I'm going to do is start to put in the back wall here. Well, actually, it's the front wall, but it's behind the pillars. Also, before we get started with putting in the wall, I just wanted to quickly mention, I didn't even realize, but I kind of just built this without saying anything about it. This is a 5 block wide staircase that goes down 2 blocks, and basically it's just in between these 2 middle pillars, and that's pretty much the gist of that. I also am going to quickly fill in a little bit of a lining of grass here. So this is going to be the level of the lawn on this part of the build, and then it's going to be gradually lowered down to the garage below. Keep in mind that you don't have to build the garage portion of this Let's Build. It's optional. You can actually just build a base house and then do a different kind of garage, which I'll show an option for that later on in the series. But for this particular series, I'll be building it in exactly the way I did on Survival Island. But I'm just saying, if you don't want to spend too much time on it, you can totally just skip the garage part, and I'll be, again, like I said, given some options for that. But we got a little bit of grass filled in there, just a little bit, just so we have a little bit of an idea of how this is going to get filled in. I'm going to be doing more terraforming later on, but let's actually get like the house built first. So what I'm going to do is come over here to this side, and I'm actually going to come in 2 blocks and place a pillared quartz right there. So it should be lined up with the other pillar. Basically, there's going to be 4 blocks of separation between the two, and this pillar is going to be the exact same height as the one in front. So 13 blocks tall, just like that. And we can do the exact same thing on this side, a 13 block tall pillar parallel with the one in front of it, just like that. The next thing I'm going to do is actually putting a line of bricks right next to the pillar. Same height, 13 blocks, going all the way up from the top of the stone bricks. We're using some bricks now, implementing those into the build for the first time, which is looking pretty good. And then right here on this corner, keep in mind that you can actually just place an extra stone brick block here and then actually just swap that out and curve that corner. It looks a little bit better, and also just kind of add that through so it's not a weird block angle there. But do the same thing on this side, and I'm going to go ahead and place the pillared quartz there, place the stone brick, and that little corner there is looking nice. So let's go ahead and continue. Next thing I'm going to do is start adding some windows. So I'm going to do the windows for the first and the second floor on this front wall to start off, because I already know how everything's planned out. So I will just go ahead and do it that way. So I'm going to go ahead and place a brick block next to the first pillar of bricks that we've added. Go ahead and place 2 upside down stairs right there. And then what I'm going to do on top of this brick block is place 4 pillared quartz blocks. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4. Place another brick block on the right side of those stairs. 4 more pillared quartz on top of that. Looking good. I'm going to place 2 slabs on top of the stairs, and then 2 upside down slabs right along the top of the pillared quartz. I'm going to go ahead and add another brick and another brick right there, just on top of those pillared quartz, and then 2 more upside down stairs on top of those slabs. And then on the inside here, we're going to double stack these windows, basically from, I like to call it basically from slab to slab. So just go ahead and do a 2x4 window of any glass of your choice. I'm using black stained glass since it's my favorite. 2x4 windows right there from slab to slab, and there's our first base window design. So Next thing I'm going to do is add a lining of bricks that's going to go straight up 13 blocks tall, just like we've been doing this entire time. And now I'm going to basically add the exact same window design above this. It's pretty much just right above it, but I'm going to add one lining of bricks to kind of separate them. I'm going to add another brick there and another brick there, and then exact same design as below, the 4 pillared quartz on each side with the stairs and the slabs as well. A couple more bricks, a couple more upside down stairs, and of course on the other side, black stained glass, just like that. And we have our first set of windows right there, looking good, exactly the way they are supposed to be. So the next thing I'm going to do is come over here to the other side and do the exact same thing. So I'll just pretty much copy and paste it to what I just did over there, and you guys will do the same. I'll be back in just 1 second. Okay guys, and just like that, we've mirrored the windows from one side to the other. So we have 2 sets of windows put in now. So now we're just going to kind of work towards the middle here. So next line here of windows is going to be basically the exact same thing we just did. I'm going to go ahead and place the same concept with just 1 block of bricks separating these 2 windows here. So exact same thing with the pillared quartz, with the slabs, and with the stairs of quartz. And we'll go ahead and fill this in. If you're building in survival and you're not sure if you want to use quartz because it's a little bit harder to gather, I'd 100% recommend it. I don't really think this build would look good at all without quartz. And in survival, quartz is not only valuable for building because it's a great looking block, but it's also amazingly good for levels. So, and you guys know this already, so this is nothing new. But I'd recommend building this with quartz 100%. Even though it's a little bit of a grind to gather quartz sometimes, it's definitely worth it in the long run, 100%. But like I said, these windows are going to be exactly the same as the ones just to the left of them. So we just filled those in just like that. And now we have 2 sets of windows looking good. And then just like on the other side, I'm going to mirror those as well. Alright guys, so we're getting close to having the front of the house put together here, which is great. So the next thing I'm going to do is put in the front door. So this part is obviously very important. What I'm going to do for this is go ahead and place 3 blocks tall of pillared quartz right there, and 3 blocks tall on this side as well. And in the middle of this, I'm going to add an upside down U of black stained glass, just like that. So you can imagine that that 2x1 space right there is going to be the spot for the front door. So that is exactly what we're going to do. But first I'm going to place a lining of pillared quartz over the top of the glass, just like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and just fill in some bricks on the top of that. And that's basically what we're going to be doing for the front door of the house. We're going to add a little bit of detail to it as well in just a little bit, but that is a start on it. And then what I'm going to do is just fill this in with 2 more levels of bricks right there. And then we're going to get this top part filled in as well. So I'm going to start off with another lining of bricks. So we just kind of have this space here. And the key to this part is to actually go inside and line up your second floor. So on this side of the wall, obviously not looking as pretty right now, but it's going to be double stacked in the future. But right now we have to line up the floors and the ceilings. This is a very important part of the build, so let's go ahead and do that. The lining for the ceiling on the first level is actually going to be right here. So if you're building a survival, obviously it's better to do upside down slabs as your ceiling because it conserves blocks. So that's what we'll be doing for this Let's Build as well. And basically that is going to be the ceiling of the first floor right above those windows. So if I go ahead and take out some, let's go ahead and get some red clay real quick, because that is the block I actually used for the interior on my survival version of this build. Let's just say that this is the wall on the interior. That's kind of how it would look. It's going to be 5 blocks tall on this first floor, which is fantastic. So if this right here in theory is the ceiling of the first floor, then right above it is going to be the floor of the second floor. So we're going to go ahead and just get a lining of this filled in real quick. And this is just for the demonstration. We'll be filling this in further detail later on, but it helps us out a lot when it comes to lining up the balcony on the first floor here and also lining up the window right above here. So let's go ahead and do that. But now that we have this filled in and figured out exactly where it's lining up, we're going to go ahead and take some spruce wood blocks and run these out right up against the pillars. So I'm going to go to right there, 1 block behind the pillars, just like that. And it's actually going to continue out this way a little bit, and we are going to line it up with 1 block away from the corner of the pillar, just like that. So it's not quite connecting to it, but it's kind of 1 block in front of it. So we're going to do the same thing on this side. I'm just going to take this out to the second to last pillar, I guess, on each side. So it's basically connected to 4 of the central pillars, more or less. But that's looking good. That's exactly what we want. So the next thing I'm going to do is place some upside down stairs right below where those blocks are placed. We're going to have that go straight across and then connect over to the wall on this side as well. And the exact same thing over here, just like that. Next thing I'm going to do is place some upside down quartz slabs right up against the spruce wood blocks. We'll take these down and again fill them all the way around the corner, bring them around town. And then finally what I'm going to do is actually add some stairs for the railing here. So I'm just going to do them connected to the side. A little bit tricky to place here in this corner, but we should be fine. Same thing over here. Just kind of connect that across and right there. And then over here as well, we're going to do the exact same thing. Run these across and then run them across right here as well. And in the middle here, since it's, this is the middle, we can't just leave it like that or it just looks kind of bad. I'm actually going to turn it here and then put a slab in the middle. And that is how we're going to do the railing on the balcony that is connected to the second floor of the mansion. So still have a little bit more detail to add to this. Starting off with, I'm going to place some upside down stairs right in front of this. And this is on the same line as the upside down slabs. So we're going to go ahead and put those in and we're going to put them on the corners as well. And then on top of those stairs, I'm going to place some slabs, some extra detail. It actually goes a long way, I think. So that will look pretty good. And you can leave that spruce wood there leaking out. I actually kind of like it like that. If you don't like that, you can also just replace those slabs with upside down stairs if you would like. Optional, up to you, depends on what your preference is. But I actually kind of like the little bit of dark color leaking through the white. It just makes it look a little bit more contrasting. So I am down with that. And now what we're going to do is actually fill in the door / window here that connects to the second floor balcony. And it's basically going to be the exact same thing as down here. So let's go ahead and figure that out. So what I'm going to do is place 3 pillared quartz blocks like that and like that on each side. And we're going to do that upside down U of black stained glass as well. Exact same thing that we did below. And then place some sideways pillared quartz blocks right above those glass. And then we're going to place just another lining of bricks. So it's going to be exactly the same from top to bottom. So it's kind of symmetrical. It lines up nicely. And then last thing I'm going to do is add some detail to this. So, all right, guys. So here's how I'm going to do the detailing around the doors. I'm going to place 3 upside down quartz stairs right above the middle. And then I'm simply going to place 3 more slabs kind of curving around the corner right there. And I'm going to do the exact same thing up here as well. A little bit more well lit so you can see it a little bit better. 3 slabs kind of curving around the corner, just like that. So down here, we still have something that we need to figure out, and that is actually filling this space in. So there's just kind of the bottom of the balcony above sticking out. So what I'm going to do is actually just fill this in with some slabs, and you can do full blocks if you want, but I'm just going to fill them in with slabs because they're in my inventory, just so it looks a little bit nicer down here. We don't want that wood leaking through. It'll be a lot better if we just do a quartz ceiling for this area. So we're going to do that real quick, get that filled in, and that's going to make a big difference. So that's pretty good. And this bottom area is pretty much good. We can add some detail to it later, but that is looking good right now. So next thing we want to do is actually start to get this roof going. So this is somewhat difficult part of the build, but I'm going to show you guys, walk you through it as easily as I can. So I'm going to start off by placing a quartz stair on this corner pillar right here. Wrap it around the corner and then run it straight across and connect it to this pillar. And we're going to do the exact same thing on this side. So I'm just going to have it go all the way across, run all the way down, and then wrap around the corner just like the other side, like so. Connect it across right there. So that's what we're going to start off with, and this is the beginning of the roofing. Next thing I'm going to do is place a lining of full quartz blocks. So I'm going to actually grab those real quick. You're going to need 4 full quartz blocks for this, so I'm going to have these wrap around basically right on top of the stairs that I just placed. In the exact same format, just run them all the way around and connect them over to the end, just like that. And this is looking pretty good. So the next thing we're going to do is do an alternate thing. And this is a little bit difficult to build in survival. This was definitely difficult for me, just letting you guys know. But basically, I'm going to do an alternating. Every other block is going to be quartz stairs and quartz slabs. So I'm going to start off with stairs, and every other block is going to be stairs. And the key to this, to making sure that it's lined up, is that the end blocks are stairs. So if we line them up with stairs on the ends, which looks like we did that correctly, that means that it's symmetrical and you have done everything correct so far and everything is lined up. So that's fantastic. Another reference point you can make is make sure that the block that's lined up with the two doors is going to be a slab. That is very important as well. But anyway, let's go ahead and get those slabs filled in. Speaking of those, we'll have these run across, and they're basically going to be placed in the empty blocks between each one of those quartz stairs. So we got the front of that looking good. I'm also going to start working on the side of it as well, but we will continue that more a little bit later on into the series. So again, same thing right here. Just take them across, alternate slabs and stairs, and you'll be good to go. So that's kind of how we're starting this off, and it's looking great so far. Everything's going exactly the way I had hoped. Next thing I'm going to do is place a lining of stairs on this side of the pillars going across, and basically they're just going to be basically backed up the opposite side of the stairs that are facing the outside of the house, like that. And then there's going to be a lining of quartz just right over the top of that. And this is going to be, I guess, the ceiling for like the second level of this balcony. You can just get this filled all the way across. Again, you can use slabs if you'd like. I'm just going to use full blocks probably for most of the build. Since I am in creative mode, so I might as well just make it a little bit easier on myself in terms of the block placement. We'll just see kind of what happens as we go through it. But I'll get this filled in with some full blocks, and it starts to add a little bit of a shadow, and you know, it makes the balcony have a little bit more depth, which is awesome. So it's coming together pretty good so far, looking great. And now the last thing I'm going to do for this first episode of this is just kind of get this front roof figured out. So what I'm going to do is grab some stone brick slabs, and I'm just going to place those in here because we're going to need stone brick slabs, we're going to need some stairs, and just full stone brick blocks for the most part. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a lining of stone brick slabs that's going to go right up the side on both sides here. But don't place them going across the front here because these are actually going to be full stair blocks. So this is the part that gets a little bit tricky, but I'm trying to walk you guys through it as best I can. So basically the corner is going to be slabs and running across that way slabs, but everything in the front is going to be stairs. So the way we're going to do this roof is it's going to be kind of a trick to make it look steep in the front, but it still doesn't get too steep on the sides. So basically the front is going to be stairs, and then the sides are going to be slabs. So it's kind of like a stair slab combo, and it's kind of easy once you get the hang of it, but you know, getting started on it might be a little complicated. So basically what you want to do is just back up the stairs with slabs. So we have kind of like a slab here, and then the stair, and then the second half of the slab lines up with the stair, which is looking good. And then on this side here, I'm going to go ahead and place a stone brick. And then we're going to go ahead and place a slab right here. So you don't want to place the stair. Want to make sure you place the slab when you go up to the next level, and then you can start placing the stairs. The reason why you do this is so you can continue the slabs going through the back. So, you know, if I placed a stair on the end here and then had the slabs go across, it's going to create that lip there, which is not going to look good. So we want to make sure we avoid that. So that corner block is going to always be a slab instead of a stair. So again, take the slabs all the way out. And then, of course, on the next level, you can take the slabs through as well, lining them up with the second half of the stair. And then you just kind of rinse and repeat this process. So again, slab on the edge, and then stairs going straight across. If you're wondering how tall this is going to go, I'll show you guys in just a second. So right now we have 1, 2, 3 levels so far. My goal is to make this 7 levels tall. So we have 3 total right now. I'll probably just do all of them right now just to avoid any kind of confusion. So we have 3 total levels, and what I mean by that is the number of stairs, not the number of slabs, because right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 slab levels, but we only have 3 stair levels. We're going by the number of stair levels, so very important to keep that in mind as well. Alright, so let's go ahead and place another slab, and let's continue to place these stairs. So it's a roof design that works really well for most builds. It'll just help it look steep in the front, because Minecraft roofing can get a little bit unproportional sometimes. So this is something that kind of really helps with the proportions. It's something I did on the Alpine Mansion. It's been, you know, a strategy when it comes to roofs that I've been doing for a long time that's been pretty good. So I did the same exact, you know, kind of strategy on this build, and it worked out great because when I first started building this thing in survival, I was having a little bit of trouble figuring out how I wanted to do the roof. And then I, took some tips from myself from the Alpine Mansion, and I was able to kind of formulate a good solid roof design for this. But I think we're getting pretty close to what I want to hit here. Let me see how many stairs we have now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So my goal is to hit 7. So we're going to go one more level here, and then I think we'll be good for this front part of the roof. So again, slab on the edge. Always got to make sure you do that. And then we're going to go ahead and place the slabs going across there. Connect one over here, right there, and like that. So if we walk out a little bit or fly out a little bit, that is kind of how the front of the roof looks. But you're probably thinking it's missing something. Like, what is it? Why does it not look as good as it does in Survival Island? The key thing that we need to add to this is the windows that are like kind of sticking out of the roof. Without those, it doesn't really look that great. But with those, man, it just clicks. It just makes it look so much better. So we're going to add that right now. All right, so for these windows, they're really not that hard to build. The first one is kind of where you start, and then you can line them up easily from there. So this first one is going to be lined up right with the center of the build, so it's going to line up with the doors. You're going to want to go one block above the first stair level. I'm actually going to go ahead and break this block right here and the 2 blocks to the side of it. I'm going to go ahead and place some, actually I think I'm going to use some full quartz blocks for this. So I'm going to place 2 quartz blocks right there, and then a slab out in front of that. And then I'm going to place 2 more on top like this on each side. And while you're doing this, just kind of break the blocks behind it because it's going to be a window. The middle blocks here I'm actually going to switch out for upside down quartz stairs. It just adds a little bit of a touch. It makes it look a lot better. And then we're going to do a slab on top to round that out. Come on the inside. And then we're going to place a 3x1 of black stained glass. And that's how we're going to fill in that window. Already looking great. Next thing I'm going to do is place a stone brick stair on top of each one of the sides of the pillar quartz. Or sorry, just the regular quartz now. We're not using pillar quartz. And then I'm going to place some stairs, quartz stairs, right next to those stone brick stairs. And then what I'm going to do is place a full quartz block right on top of that slab. Go back into my inventory. I'm actually going to re-grab the pillared quartz blocks. I'm going to place one straight out front, just like that, with a slab on top, like that. And then from here, what you can do is actually just connect the stone brick stairs to the roof that we've already built. And then all you got to do is just connect the stone brick slabs to the quartz slab and then connect it back to the house. So that's kind of how it looks. And then you want to just come on the inside here and just make sure that this is just filled in with full quartz blocks. And you have to make sure that it's not like sticking out on the sides. So that's basically the design for these windows. Very simple. It doesn't take too long to build at all. So we're going to add 2 more of these, and one of them, they're basically just going to go 2 blocks away from the middle one on each side. So 2 blocks away like that. You can kind of start breaking this whole thing open here. And it's basically the exact same design that we just did. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that middle one to each side, and we'll see how it looks. Alright, so now we got 2 windows in. Let's go ahead and add the 3rd. Alright guys, there we go. We have ourselves the windows that are sticking out of the roof. Just makes it look so much better than it did just a second ago. So that is looking fantastic. And with that, guys, that is going to conclude the first episode of the Brick Mansion Survival House, whatever you want to call it. I'm just going to call it the Brick Mansion Tutorial for Survival. My Survival Island Season 4 house, or as I've called it, the Steph Curry Mansion, because it's made out of bricks. And next episode, I'm going to take the walls out on the side. The fact that we got the front done like all in one episode is really nice. So we'll continue to take the walls out next episode and add more detail to it as we go. And it should be a fun tutorial for you guys, and hopefully you'll be able to build it on your worlds if you would like. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Give this video a like if you did enjoy it, and I'll talk to you guys on the next one. Peace out.